The school run, a time-honoured family routine. But even if there's an element of family van in the new Porsche Cayenne Turbo, the Swabian sports SUV does have a little more to offer. But first to its family friendliness. The new model is 20 centimeters longer and the wheelbase 4 centimeters wider, which means lots more room in the back. Another aspect of family life is reflected by the flexible rear seats, which can even be adjusted longitudinally, allowing loads of legroom or boot space. According to the position of the rear seats and whether they're folded down or not, the Cayenne can take up to 1,780 litres of luggage in a maximum additional load of 710 kilos. Using the full space available is easy, as on the new model, the backrests can be folded down without removing the headrests. The look of the new Cayenne is a little lighter than its predecessor. The dashing line of lights up front, the rear lights equally no longer square but tapering. Some have said this is a bow to the Oriental market and unworthy of Porsche. The message coming from the bonnet with its mighty contours is less ambiguous, containing as it does a mass of dynamics, a V8 bi-turbo with 500 horsepower, which even at 2,250 revs has the maximum torque of 700 Newton-meters available. If one thinks that the new Cayenne Turbo, despite being longer and wider, is also 200 kilos lighter than its predecessor, one has some idea of what happens when one floors the accelerator. The 4.8-litre engine catapults 2.5 tons of sports SUV from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 4.7 seconds. Without a pause, without a second's hesitation, the engine and the new 8-speed automatic transmission power unstoppably onwards until the Cayenne reaches its top speed of 278 kilometers an hour. Simply breathtaking. Giving the Cayenne the right grip on the road is a mixture of electronics and fat, albeit optional, 21-inch tyres, 19-inch as standard. Another new development is the four-wheel drive. Here the rear wheels are driven directly, the power flow to the front wheels occurs via an electronically controlled multiple disc clutch. So if you see a Cayenne coming, give it some room. And if you're behind the wheel, rain and aquaplaning are two things to look out for. Lots of water on the road, aquaplaning. The tyre floats on a film of water and you soon notice that the steering's no longer having much effect. The tyres have to transmit the forces from the engine and from a certain speed upwards on this artificial slippery surface, the laws of physics reach their limits. If, on the other hand, the road is safe and traffic-free, the only obstacle to how far and how fast you want to go is how much Super Plus you can afford. The official fuel figures from Porsche are an average of 11.5 litres per 100 kilometres, which is pretty ridiculous seeing as we only managed between 15 and 17 litres driving in a fairly relaxed manner. Drive the car like a Porsche and you soon go beyond 25 litres, making even a 100-litre fuel tank fairly limited in range. Behind the wheel, all that quickly fades away. The Cayenne Turbo driver feels like a king, and the rev counter is back where it should be, in the middle of the dashboard. As already seen in the Panamera, the interior is a mixture of business lounge and aircraft cockpit. Even the standard equipment is all luxury, which at a basic price of €115,000 is really to be expected. The list of extras is almost endless and it's easy to spend another €30,000 to €40,000. Oh, incidentally, the Cayenne is also suitable for off-road use. It may take some willpower to get the chic 21-inch wheels and their expensive tyres muddy, but thanks to the off-road button, 2 additional height levels and electronic longitudinal and lateral differential locks, the Cayenne can deal with life off-road just fine. The only thing to bear in mind is that 500 horsepower is an awful lot of power, and it can sometimes be difficult to get the dosage right. So maybe it's better to stick to flooring it on asphalt. Here the Turbo is an extremely potent and exclusive member of the luxury SUV class. And to keep things that way, Porsche has built in one small obstacle. Thanks to the high purchase price and running costs, anyone wanting to buy this car should at any time be in a position to fill the boot with €50 notes.